Hi, and welcome to Pokemon Book Club. This is teacher Tammy, and this is Flex Class Book Discussion number 1. We will be reading Pokemon School Challenge. Now, before you start this class, you should have read chapters 1 through 3 before we begin our class. If you haven't, pause this video or turn it off and go read those chapters before we start class. If you have indeed read those chapters 1 through 3, then we are ready to get started. But let's talk a little bit about this Flex class before you do that. First, this is your Flex class. Please enter our classroom and make your comments on our classroom page or to the Google Forms as indicated during the video lesson. Number 2, please feel free to chime in on this Flex class whenever you would like. That is what makes a Flex class so spectacular, your participation. So let's talk about this book. We were reading the Pokemon School Challenge, and we're going to go through a series of slides. We're going to talk about a few things, and we'll actually put together our Triorama. That PDF file was attached to the classroom post that this video was found in as well. Okay, grab those books. Let's take a look at them. We are reading Pokemon, the series Sun and Moon, the Pokemon School Challenge, just like that is on the screen. And we can make a whole lot of observations about the cover of this book. Those are called making predictions. So take a moment and look at the cover and let's make some predictions. So we can figure out some of our characters are going to be here. Go ahead and list those down on a piece of paper. We have Ash, and we have Pikachu, and 2 other Pokemon as well. We can tell that this book is going to be in the Alola region. We got a little more of a Happy Sun look back here. And we're going to talk about fiction or nonfiction. Books are written in many ways, right? But books are either going to be truthful or they're going to be non-truth. So the Pokemon School Challenge book is a fiction book. That means the characters, the idea, and the story are made up. But that certainly doesn't mean we can't enjoy this book. I actually really think it would be awesome if we could actually go to a Pokemon school and if we could actually battle Pokemon and collect Pokemon. It'd be an amazing opportunity to have for us. So yes, this is a nonfiction book. There was a genre sheet attached to your classroom as well, and we'll actually put some questions in this video, which you'll see in a bit, about genre. Okay, genre is right here. I'm going to pull a check mark on the screen, and you will see where I'm at. So I'm going to get my annotation notes up here. So this little check mark, we're right here. We have genre. Genre means what is the book about. So we know it's a fiction book. It's not true. We also know that it's maybe a mystery, or is it a story, or is it historical, or what type of book is this? I would say that this book is really a story, but not really a mystery. So it's going to have our traditional story elements, which we're going to go over in a bit. So those genre of this book would be fiction fun. That's how I would label this book. You know, the Pokemon chapter books are an awesome way to practice your reading skills, but more importantly, they're super fun to read. They're just really enjoyable books. So I'm glad you jumped in this class with me. All right, let's look at this cover. There's a few things we need to know. The first one is the title. So the title of this book is right here, the Pokemon School Challenge. That's our title. And the person who writes the book, that's called our author. And the author of this book is actually Tracy West. I'll show you where her name's at. Now, your book may not have the name on it. I actually plopped that on that screen so we could have her actual name. Here's an interesting fact about Tracy West. She has written the majority of these Pokemon chapter books. She wrote Pikachu, I Choose You, and she also wrote Ash Ketchum, Pokemon Detective. Both of those books helped develop Ash's character. Finally, we have what is called a publisher. And the publisher is the company or the person that is responsible for printing the book. And in this case, it is Scholastic Books. You may have bought this book from Scholastic or another outlet as well. So the publisher, the company or person responsible for actually printing our book. That brings us right here. We have what's called the story plot line, or the elements of a story. Elements of the story are what makes our story come through. We've got characters and setting and story conflict. Those are the 3 main ones we are going to speak about today. So let's dive in and let's take a look at where we're at in our book. So we're going to start with parts of a story. Go ahead and read that. We'll read that together. It said, Ash hurried to meet his mom and her, Mr. Mime. They rode to town in a tourist taxi. This is the best ever, Ash said. Later, we can visit the Pokemon school, his mom said. Now, this is the beginning of our story. This is probably in the third or fourth page of our chapter book. This is called the exposition. That is the very beginning of your story. So I'm going to write that here, the very beginning. It is where we learn a lot. We learn our characters, we learn our setting, and we learn our story conflict. And our story conflict is our story